Katie Rees, welcome. It's
Thank you.
a pleasure to meet you, and we've met already, but now officially sitting down here
Absolutely.
having a conversation about sports science and sports and your PhD and what you've been doing with Bioelevate.
Absolutely.
So,
Thank you
so
so much for having me. It's a
yeah,
real pleasure to be here. Like you said, yeah, we met a few weeks back at a networking evening. But it's brilliant to meet up and get on your podcast again. So it's really
yeah,
lovely to meet you.
yeah, it's my pleasure as well. Are you? Will you meet? Will you go again eventually? Because I
Yes.
think they going doing this regularly.
Yeah, I think it's a monthly thing.
Okay.
For the viewers, it's the Barclays networking event at Tramshed in Swansea.
Yeah.
Definitely recommend. You get to meet a lot of like-minded people.
Yeah.
But yeah, once everything starts to like calm down over the summer, I'll definitely be going back again for sure.
No, I'm sure I will try to go as well, just to distribute maybe some flyers or just like talking
Absolutely.
about and trying to get some ways of obtaining some funding in the future as well, and then getting more guests.
Absolutely. It's brilliant.
Yeah, it is a brilliant gathering, and where unexpected people you may find, and it's so great. It is a great thing.
For
So
sure.
So one of the things I've noticed this morning is that you were um, hosting and speaking at Evolve Training Club. So you was literally at a gym and then
Yes.
spreading your mission. How was that?
Oh,
Was it in the morning or
it was yesterday
was it
afternoon.
yesterday? Yesterday
Um,
afternoon. Okay.
yeah, at Evolve Training Club, and it was absolutely incredible. So again, it's that like-minded people who, want to work out in community, work out with like-minded people, and are interested about their health. So for me, it was a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Shout out to Darren at Evolve,
Yeah.
incredible guy. And yeah, so that was yesterday. And yeah, I spoke for about 45 minutes and then did a little Q&A for their
Yeah.
members afterwards as well. So it's it's brilliant and I love it.
So this was a your second corporate talk or something like that, because you had
Yeah.
one before.
Yes, yeah. So it's
So
my second official one after my kind of PhD.
yeah.
So second talk is Dr. Rees. Pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Now you can put the title doctor, as you said once, and it's
Absolutely.
just like great. But are you still doing the corrections or
No, so I'm all
no, not
done.
anymore? Oh,
All
okay.
done, yeah.
Uh,
So yeah, my Viva was 13th of May. Had a
yeah.
couple of corrections to do, submitted them, and graduate literally 1 week today.
Oh, wow. So
So
that
yeah,
was quite fast. That was quite fast.
quick
Was it
turnaround for sure. But yeah, it was yeah, very minor amendments. But yeah, really, really grateful and love the journey. And I'm sure we'll get onto that in a little bit as well.
yeah, and this is because you've loved the journey. Would you like to share with us how you've built that journey, and in deciding to study a PhD? Was it in genetics? Was it
Yeah,
said?
yes, it was
Yeah.
biomedical sciences, specializing in genetics.
Mm.
But yeah, absolutely. So I think my kind of story
Yeah.
started long before I even knew really what genetics was. So like growing up, I think very formative years, like maybe like 4 or 5, when you go to primary school and it's like, what do you want to be when you grow up? I always wanted to be a scientist, and I
Yes.
always wanted to be like in a coat finding cures for diseases. And that's like one of my first kind of memories as childhood is what I wanted to be. So it's very surreal now, growing up, having done the research, like being a doctor of research, like it's incredible. Um, but yeah, growing up, I was very much fascinated how different people could live very seemingly similar lives,
Mm-hmm.
yet completely different health outcomes. So, especially as an athlete in the
Yeah.
pool, we would train maybe like 15 to 20 of us all together, and we'd have the same training output, but we would have different foods,
Mm.
sleep at the same hours, have very similar foods, yet recover completely differently. And someone would get an incredible performance, and someone would be not so great.
Mm.
But like, what was the thing that made them different? So I was always like a curious mind and always wanted to know why.
Mm.
And that was across like every aspect of my being, really. It was like, why did I have to do this in school? Why did I have to do that in training? And it wasn't like that rebellious streak, it was that curious mind.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew like long before I even went to uni that I wanted to do a PhD, and be a researcher and find those answers. So yeah, playing into my curious mind, I think.
Well, so it's quite an interesting background that you share, because most of us are going to into university. They don't know what they do. Majority of us don't know
Yeah,
what to do with the degree. But having this clear mindset of, okay, I want to go to university step by step, but I'm having
yeah,
in my mind that I want to do a PhD, and especially in this field, and asking why
yeah,
the why having these types of physical exercises, and how it affects our metabolism, and there's different ways,
absolutely.
and it's different ways of understanding our human body, especially when doing physical activity. And nowadays, with loads and loads of technology and
Yes,
information about our bodies, consultations, private coaching, and everything's going to be more
absolutely.
face to face, online, and going into technology. So that's where you've decided to establish Bioelevate,
Yeah,
the
it's
core
that
business.
bridge.
And does it matches with your PhD? Was it something was you had in mind already
Um,
when you went to do your PhD?
so I always knew that my purpose and passion would be helping people. I just didn't know kind of what sector, what avenue I would be led down and what would fulfill that purpose. But I always knew I was passionate about health, I was passionate about people. So as I went through my PhD journey, I kind of I had a seed planted with our medical system that I wanted it to be prevention rather than cure.
Yes.
And I think when we take a preventative lens on disease, rather than kind of thinking, oh, it's too late, we have to cure it, that's a really powerful shift.
Yeah.
And I think it would ease kind of the burden of ill health in our communities and our population if we took a proactive approach to health rather than reactive.
Mm-hmm.
So having that as like a passion project, and then doing my PhD in genetics and understanding the role of inflammation and inflammation being the root cause of many diseases, and it's kind of marrying up what I'm passionate about, what my mind is good at. And there was definitely a seed planted
Mm-hmm.
right back at the start. And I always tell people this, that I had the seed back in 2022, probably just after COVID,
Yeah.
because it impacted so many people worldwide. And again,
Yes.
that curious nature of mine was just why? It can't just be an illness or a disease or a virus that impacts some and not the other. Like, why is that? So yeah, I think it was a little seed that planted way back when, and then bit of nurturing, bit of watering, bit of admin behind the scenes. You build a website, you start telling people, and naturally this kind of health coach or coaching role or talk, a speaker just kind of
Yeah.
molds you into
Just
who you
kind of
are today.
modes.
And here I
Wow.
am.
And here you are. And then
Absolutely.
sharing about the mission of Bioelevate in helping people and trying to find, uh, I mean, their own milestones, and they just need to
Absolutely.
have that little boost and extra motivation for them to find what they actually want. How can they improve their bodies?
Exactly.
Was it something that having your background and your passion for sports, was that something also gave that extra boost? And how did you help yourself to where you were right now, and then helping other people by awakening that curious mind you still have about the why, and
Yeah.
still why?
Absolutely. I think with sport, we as athletes have that inner drive to find that next 1%.
Yeah.
And at the very, very top level, at international elite level, it is a game of 1%. And if everyone does the same thing, everyone should get the same outcome. So you have to fine tune the other pillars that support you as a human and as an athlete. And that looks like nutrition, the mental, psychological side of sport, which is really, really powerful,
Yeah.
that you sleep. The sleep is the most regenerative, restorative aspect of an athlete. And if you disrespect it, you're not going to get the performance on the field or in the pool that you're working hard towards. And obviously, you've got the training, you've got the physical aspect of it. And as a swimmer, it's not just what I do in the pool, it's how I support my body on land before getting in the water, afterwards, the pre-pool or prep time, the warm-up time, and the mobility and the stretching side of things afterwards, but
Yeah.
also the strength and conditioning. So there's so many pillars, even within just exercise in that pillar, which influence the performance. And one of them is our genome or our genetics. Fundamentally, what does our blueprint look like? Are we more catered to be an endurance athlete or a power strength athlete? Does my training reflect that? And am I working in alignment with my genome or against it? Am I maximizing my genetic potential? And that's where the game of 1% is so important. And I think any athletes listening to this, it is a no-brainer, because the
Yeah.
more we understand and learn about our biology, the more we can fine-tune our systems to get a better output.
Yeah.
So I think having gone through my own journey and getting my own genome read and understanding more about my own biology, I was able to kind of interpret, put a plan of action together, and come out the other side and see those benefits
Wow.
in my sport, but not just in performance side of things. The mental clarity, the brain fog, feeling actually refreshed and restored, waking up in the morning, eating the right things that actually fuel you, not put you in that afternoon slump. There's so many things, and yeah, genetics is just one pillar of a whole. It's like one piece of a jigsaw puzzle, and there's so many others that create that beautiful image at the end.
Yeah.
But I think genetics is one that people should really look at and consider.
And I think having this consultation of many people specialize in genetics can give that help. But I'd say
Absolutely.
I'd add as well, genetics is important and it does matter and contributes for the development of the human being. But also I'd add the fact that having healthy habits and trying to accommodate to getting used to those habits would be an extra for
Absolutely.
that genome development, and many people doesn't
100%.
seem to have to maybe uh, challenge those their current habits into new ones, and it seems there's a lack of that, don't you
Yeah,
think?
absolutely. So I think with any of my coaching clients, the lifestyle and like habit integration is something that comes as standard, because there is no point in me putting together and kind of working with a client to create this perfect kind of bespoke plan of action of like lifestyle, movement, meditation, breath work, nutrition, and then just hand it to them when their lifestyle doesn't allow for that to happen. And as you said, it's that integration of habits, creating new
Yeah,
habits, to make it align with their current life so that
sure.
it's achievable. I think that's a big gap. And there's a lot of noise in the nutrition space. And it's like, don't eat this, go carnivore, don't eat carnivore, eat plants, go vegan. There's so much noise. And I think the question that most people ask is, what's the best diet? When actually that question is wrong to start with. It's what's the best diet for me? And I think that like personalized health approach, when you start going down like that personalized health, personalized medicine route, it is so, so powerful. And it's incredible. And yeah,
Wow. Now I'm more curious about the diet, exactly, essentially, and
yeah.
but you we can talk about this a bit more, and I do wonder as well if did you have any case studies during your dissertation that also helped you to
Um,
into Bioelevate, and then we can get to the other side.
yeah, we'll maybe save that one for the PhD talk, my thesis talk.
Yeah.
So it was a big project.
Oh, okay. Could you just summarize it? Are you able to it?
Yeah, so my PhD was a collaborative project with Cardiff Metropolitan Uni and Cwmtaf Morgannwg Health Board.
Yeah.
So I had, I think my total cohort was 192 individuals from kind of this Cardiff and surrounding areas, geographically. I had, I think, probably 30% from Cardiff Met and then 70% from Cwmtaf. So I think 30% of the cohort from Cardiff Met were kind of your healthy staff or students, and then the 70% were kind of from a hospital environment. So they had been recruited when they were already in hospital. So they were more of the diseased or ill participant side of things. So I didn't have any direct case studies because it was very much if I met with them face to face for a consultation, they became a number in the study rather than a person that I could, utilize as a client and become friends or future clients.
Yeah.
So it's very much like once I'd met them and sat down and consulted with them, it was right. Joe Bloggs, you are now a person in this study. You are sample 001. That dissonance then, and you have to
Sure.
have it. So there's no bias, there's none of that going on. But I think what underpins my passion and the project with CumTAF and my PhD and what I'm doing now with Bioelevate is that passion and purpose to help serve and help people, and find those answers, listen to the biology, and understand why and how we can improve it and make it better. So I think that's the thing that underpins it. So no like case studies necessarily that
Sure.
transfer, but it was that underpinning message that I want to help people and finding that path to do so.
And that would start with this wrong question, as you said, the what's the best diet? I do wonder how many clients that you had so far asking the same question, and then
Um,
you,
I think a lot of them have that in the back of their mind, or they've
yes,
experienced that frustration of they've seen this noise on Instagram or followed some influencers who are promoting one style or the other. But everyone is right in their domain if it works for their biology.
yeah,
Um, but I think when you start asking what's the best diet for me, what's the best diet for my lifestyle, for my outputs that I need, that's where the magic happens. But a lot of my clients do come to me quite frustrated and quite confused or uncertain in what would work best for them. And that's where having that kind of evidence, science-based or science-led approach is super powerful.
yeah,
Because your genetics, your genome will indicate if you can metabolize fats or carbs or proteins better. So the macronutrient little like 40, 30, 20 split, or that varies a lot person to person and what output is required. But that macronutrient wheel will change subtly from person to person, depending on what your genetics indicates or influences. So even at a fundamental level, the inputs that we eat can change the outputs that we get. And it's very much not a case of calories in and calories out and losing weight or gaining weight. It's so much more than that. It is a science and an art to it.
yeah.
And that's kind of another message that I love educating my clients about is love food, enjoy food. Yeah.
Without and as you said, it's enjoying actually food. I mean the real food, that resists against this ultra processed foods,
Yes.
right? And it's a huge industry. We know all of it about that. The products that are heavily salty, heavily greasy, heavily processed, and the cheapest one, which
Yeah.
times to beat up still tries to beat up the most what we deem to seem healthy, despite the soil being overwhelmed,
Yeah.
right? But as you said, it's about enjoying the food, but I think also without being exaggerating on it, and so having this balance, which it is hard to find in amongst many people,
Absolutely.
including this social media slop of plenty of stuff where we constantly get bombarded. And
Yeah.
with science based, it is a good color, but they the I wonder if also when you have some clients at consulting you at Bioelevate, when they get I can get these so many amount of people saying this, saying that, and they say it's science based. And when I'm asking this question under the justification of many social media influencers, so called, so to speak, they say they found a gap. And I watched this on a video of an
Yeah.
interview on a YouTube channel called Fitness FAQs, and he's a great
Okay.
he's a great he's not a bodybuilder, but he's coming along the same the similar lines as you.
Okay.
And one of the issues that said that these type of social media influencers, they find a gap in the
Yeah.
exercises, and they amplify it and claim it is science based without having the 3+ years of proper training, academic
Um,
training, gym training, understand the actual science behind it, and how does it.
yeah.
And I do wonder if you had any clients also talking about something similar around that when complaining when complaining about their dietary habits.
Yeah. I think a lot of my clients come to me after reaching that kind of peak frustration or peak
Sure.
overwhelm or peak
Yeah.
uncertainty.
Yeah.
And we as a nutritionist, you always have to kind of go back to the best foundationally, the best diet is, yes, one that's evidence-based and not
Yeah.
just, oh, I've read one article, or not even articles sometimes. Sometimes you just read something on Instagram and go, yes, that's science-based. That's not data. For me, that is not
No.
enough.
No.
So the best diet fundamentally is one that's evidence-based through lots and lots and lots of research, and not just research through rose-tinted glasses. You have to look at the negatives and the positives, that complete picture. That's what makes us scientists. So you have to look at one that's evidence-based, nutritionally complete, sustainable, enjoyable. And the one piece where I think is my niche
Yeah.
and is my calling is being able to tailor all of that to your biology, making it fit with your lifestyle and in alignment with your goals. That's where the power is. So I think my clients sometimes come to me with that frustration or uncertainty or overwhelm or there's so much noise and I want
Yes.
clarity. And
Yeah.
that's what I bring is that clarity and that certainty. And just, I'm here to listen to them and hear their frustrations and go find a way forward with them.
Sure. And that's where you use a bit of psychology to trying to understand uh, why that noise influences them, and then you use any sort of methods that
Exactly.
will
Sis-
help them systematically, as you said,
yeah,
systematically, that help them to reach out their goals. But
of
obviously,
course.
they would understand that it requires time and patience, which is something that nowadays there's not many people praising for that, because
Yeah.
it's a great skill, to be fair.
It is. And that is all about the art of coaching. So I think people often confuse coaching with someone else telling them what to do. I don't see it that way at all. I think the art of coaching is really listening to that client or that person in front of you
Yes.
and helping them discover what they're truly capable of, whether that's nutrition, whether that's sport, whether that's a mentee situation in uni through their PhD journey, whether it's back in school, that buddy system. It's seeing what's in front of you, that person in front of you, and helping them, discover that confidence of what they're truly capable of and giving them the knowledge, the support, and sometimes that arm around the shoulder to get them there together. That for me is what coaching is, and is coaching who that person is in front of you.
So that having this coaching skill that require time and trying to understand your clients, but at the same time your clients understanding you, and
Absolutely.
how can they work together and creating a plan that requires
Absolutely.
time and patience. I do
Exactly. And
want,
it's
yeah, I do wonder if they had any clients that they were so fed up and they said, "Nah, I can't do this, I just quit the program." Maybe
so
not, you haven't.
yeah, none of my clients so far have quit the program, and I hope that
Fin-
that's not something
that's a blessing, that's a
that'll come
blessing
through.
now.
We'll touch wood for that, Lewis.
So but yeah, but I do know, and I used to go to the gym when I was a teenager. My father was a PT, and in a space of 20 years it changed a lot. We didn't have that much technology at the time. I mean, I was still a kid, but working at a gym where my father used to work at, they didn't
Absolutely.
have any technology. I mean, that kind of a technology that we have nowadays.
Yeah.
And they're still relying on personal trainers who are also coaching, they are also coaches, and they coach the person, and some of them, they just didn't adapt. And even with this technology, we're so heavily dependent on, they still trying to get their both feet onto a gym or having a private consultation. And some of them, they just doing a training program. They trying to
Yeah.
follow up. Oh, this is cool and all that, but then you have to do it again.
Yeah.
You have to do this all repeated times. And many clients, they just don't grasp it. They just don't grasp the grind, how it takes time, because of, as you said, that lot of noise, and that keeps frustration
Yeah.
even more.
And science evolves.
So
Like
yeah,
the art of science is literally to see a theory, trial it, disprove it, and prove that your theory is right. So failure and being wrong and being proven wrong is a
yeah,
big thing in science. And I think if you've got this like perfect conceptual model that has worked for decades, I would question that
yeah,
because it's either an incredible kind of model that is true and certain,
Yes.
But where certainty and perfection doesn't exist, I would absolutely question that. And things have to evolve
Mm.
because by nature, by the very nature of who we are as humans, we are evolution, we evolve.
Yeah.
So one thing that worked for you as a teenager, a program would work for you then, would not work for you now because your innate being, your body has evolved.
Yeah.
And as we age, there are different challenges that present themselves. And yeah, I think there's no kind of one model that is set for you for life.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think science coaching is evolutionary and it has to evolve with, with tech, with
With tech.
life, with the person that you're coaching.
Yes. No, that's actually true, and it's great you point out. It's just keeping reinventing the wheel, and
Yeah,
trying to adapt to the circumstances. As you said, we keep evolving. Clients also evolve. They need to adapt it in
absolutely.
different ways. There's the coach. The magic of the coaching it is like that. It's not having that strict and then nothing changes in their mind, of course, but having that consistent change and okay, let's
Yeah,
reinvent. What are your needs? What are your needs at, and how can we work together in order to achieve your goals so that I can achieve mine as well? You see, saying
absolutely.
that, oh, I have fulfilled the objective of this client that was struggling so much in with his, for example, obesity problems, but now with a proper diet, a balanced lifestyle, I feel
Yeah.
fulfilled as well.
Yeah. And it's answering that calling of
Yeah.
helping people. And that's my purpose. That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
So I think it's, yes, I'm able to help the client, but by me helping the client, I'm also fulfilling my soul's purpose as well. So it's really powerful work. And I'm really honored and grateful to have found this kind of niche and
Sure.
make it. Yeah, it's great. I love it.
I do. I'd like to ask as well, uh, what your clients can learn from you. What did they learn actually, and when they had their first consultations, and then when they started to adhere to your methodologies and saw significant difference. What did they learn from this
Okay.
experience?
I think the one liner is that my clients understand their bodies better than they did an hour before we met together. So I think when someone works with me, they've obviously presented with their struggles or their symptoms, or maybe not at all. Maybe they want to just from baseline be better. So they don't always have to come to me in like a diseased or a struggled scenario or state. They could just be that calling for more, and that's a beautiful place to be in as well. But by the time the client kind of comes on their journey with me, they, I think they would have learned that they biologically they're all unique, and because of that, health shouldn't be about copying that latest trend or the latest influencer. It's finding what works for you.
Yes.
Um, I think I love educating people about genetics and science, and knowing that, knowing your blueprint, it is not your destiny.
Yeah.
It's one piece of a much bigger picture, that also includes the epigenetics, so the environment surrounding your genes,
Yeah.
which include nutrition, movement, sleep, stress, environment. And these are kind of all the pillars that hold up that building or
Yeah.
that, and the choices we make every day.
Yeah.
And I think the final thing is that knowing your body can create a lot of trust and support in your body. I hope that my coaching style is quite empowering, and knowledge becomes power when it's utilized. So I think knowing your blueprint, knowing what nutrition, what sleep habits, what movement, what lifestyle, what stress management you need, I hope that my clients would feel empowered by the end of our working together, knowing that they understand from a deep biological perspective who they are, why they are the way they are, and can have the tool set equipped to move forward with that, with more knowledge and understanding of their biology.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people struggle with their kind of gut intuition. Now, I'm a very intuitive person. Me, my mum, my family, we're all very much, we've got a gut sense, that sixth sense. And I'm grateful, I'm really honored to have that. Because I think some people are really in tune and intuitive with their bodies, and some are not. And it's listening to your body when it's whispering instead of
Sure.
waiting when it's screaming.
Yeah.
And that is something that's learned through kind of exposure and experience to illness in your life. and knowing like when you need to rest, when you need to, it's that innate wisdom that's telling you like push you, pull back a little bit, rest, recover. And the ability to listen to your body comes from when you're silenced. So when you have that silent mind, you can listen to what your body's trying to tell you. So I basically empower my clients. We learn the biology and the genetic side of things, but I also empower them to listen to their gut and their intuition. And it's that beautiful kind of craft between, that soul and that gut intuition and the biology, and it's that perfect bridge. And yeah, that's me as a coach, and I love it.
No, I think that is great. That it's more of a holistic approach
Oh,
first,
absolutely,
right?
absolutely.
And then once they hear that, they start to accommodate new habits. I'd assume.
Yeah, yeah.
Then do you create a training blueprint for them according to their genetics, according to their personality as well?
Yeah, so the one thing I love doing, and something I love is the art of collaboration.
Yes.
So where my kind of niche is in that genetics, that health, the comprehensive health markers, bloods, genetics, hair tissue mineral analysis, learning the data, and then making the nutrition and the sleep and the lifestyle aspect. Now, one part that I do not touch at the moment is the exercise element. So I don't do
Okay.
anything like program or anything like that. But what I do is become affiliated with PTs or personal trainers or coaches wherever my client is based. So I've got a lot of clients all across UK at the moment, and I've got one over in Europe as well.
Okay.
So I would find if they've already got a PT or a member at the gym, or a gym membership, sorry, I become affiliated with them. I spark up that connection, make that relationship, and work in collaboration with their support network, whether they're an athlete within a team, whether they are with a person with just a personal trainer, or they just have a gym membership. I work with what their life kind of looks like at the moment. I work with their support network, and I go, right, this client has this genetic predisposition, which means they would love or they would thrive off doing this, this, and this.
Yeah.
Work with me to create this bespoke program. So I'm not actually doing the programming myself, but I'm educating and empowering their PTs and support network to influence their program.
Yeah.
So it's very much a collaborative approach. And that is where the power is, because you're the power of the team. Oh, sorry, what's that phrase? What's that saying? The power of the team is only as strong as the individuals that make it. So you're stronger
Okay.
as a team, as in a collective, than you are on your own. And I love that, because if I can partner with the most elite and the most knowledgeable minds across many sectors, the power and the amount we can help and support our clients, who are the main denominator here, is increased tenfold. So I love working collaboratively with experts in their fields to best support the client. So I hope that answered your question.
No, it's
And it's the art of collaboration. I love it.
no, it is. That's the key element here. We all have to collaborate with each other, and you with your expertise trying to understand your clients, and then trying to educate them. That's the power of collaboration, and using your network
Absolutely.
is even more powerful, which we all need every single time. It's not just because it's a trend or this technological boom that's being the
Yeah,
trend, social media trends. We all still need each other.
absolutely.
As you said, there is a lot of noise, and
Yes.
again we losing this skill of patience, also critical thinking, and claiming the fucking sources that some of them are even scientific sources, but they don't know where they actually come from. It's just like putting the source,
Yeah.
and you don't know.
Yeah.
That's what I do feel about is the power of collaboration, and especially in this day and age of the gym trend, everyone wants to get shredded, even if they know what that actually means.
Yeah.
They might assume, oh, it's shredded is being big. As you go to a dictionary, I don't see big here,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly.
So I still baffles me when talking about gym. Everyone's uh, going to say I'm doing a bench press or leg press and
Yeah.
says all of that, and they still don't know how to do it. Many of them are doing incorrectly, maybe because of the habits that they have, as you said, not having a healthy diet, not tracking their
Um,
macros, the sleep, and just having this socialization inside of a gym, which is
yeah,
it is still something. It's over there, just conversate with the person, and not having the proper training, not less training and collaboration with
yeah,
personal trainings, and you also with yourself. Hopefully, you'll get more clients, and then
amazing. Hopefully,
hopefully,
the
and
more people I can
just
help, the better.
yeah,
It's an
and
honor to be part of anyone's coaching journey, you know?
yeah, of course, and obviously with the right diet, with not the right diet, but the diet that is more appropriate to the clients,
Absolutely.
without having those drinks of what is it called? Uh, it's kind of those milkshakes, but it's not exactly a milkshake, but it's close to it.
Oh, the protein shakes.
Yes, I
Yeah,
was missing the word. I was missing that
that's
word.
okay.
Just missing the protein shakes every single time, drinking protein shakes back and forth every single time
Yeah,
after a training. For me, it's confusing. To be
yeah.
honest with you, as I said, I used to work as a teenager and doing in my early 20s to mid 20s. I have my own gym,
Hmm.
which is in a home,
Yeah,
and
of
my own
course.
equipment, and I know what to eat. I know when to sleep. I do cheat a little bit, honestly, but that's just part of us as human beings.
Yeah,
And the now with this trend, as we said, we already said the noise keeps influencing people, and
yeah,
unfortunately, there is this statistical this statistics, and I saw this at health and fitness business that
yeah,
31% of the global population it is inactive or doesn't do any physical activity, and this was this year,
yeah.
and I think it increased a bit more over the years. And I said, and I asked you as well, they still confused about exercise, as you said before, and I do wonder what is that confusion aside from social media. What other sorts of things do you think that confuses people even more?
I think there's just a lot of information out there, and it's almost information overload or overwhelm.
Yeah,
Um, and especially like what you just touched about then about the protein. Protein seems to be everywhere.
yeah,
Protein yogurt, protein coffee, protein
yeah,
cereals. And, you have to sit back and strip it back. Like, is this all just marketing? Because I think protein is probably one of the best examples of how we can really, you know, have a really important nutritional message and it become completely distorted.
sure.
Because the science, when you strip it back, the science is very, very clear. Protein is essential. Every single cell in your body relies on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's your amino acids, your building blocks are vital for building, repairing, growing muscle, supporting your immune system, producing hormones, enzymes, recovering from exercise. So the message of why protein is important is absolutely correct. But where I think it's become distorted or confused is that we should be treating protein like it's a magic ingredient, because it's not. It's not magic, it's not a miracle, but it is essential. And I think you know, when you look at someone's protein intake or dietary habits,
Yeah,
it's not like, oh, I have a shake after training, so I've hit my protein target for the day. No, you need
yeah.
protein
You got
consistently throughout the day.
exactly, and I also point to the fact that, and comes from my dad, and he
Yeah,
says the protein, it just the most of it you are consuming water and pasteurized milk, right?
yeah,
And I think that is a fact that is true. And the protein inside of that shake is minimal or maybe slim to none. We don't know.
yeah, yeah. I think there's a very blurred line between like protein rich food and protein marketed foods. And
Yes.
that I think is probably another topic for another day.
Yeah.
But I think for any listeners who are potentially gym goers or on a health kick or a diet at the moment, just because something says high protein doesn't make it an immediately healthy choice.
Yeah.
And now some of these products are genuinely useful, but others are kind of that highly processed foods you touched on earlier with, by sprinkling extra protein or high protein, it's clever marketing.
Yeah.
So I always encourage my clients and anyone really to look beyond the label. What is in that? And just on the protein shakes angle,
Mm-hmm.
I'm very much a food first approach nutritionist.
Sure.
So when I look at someone's macronutrient requirements and needs, matching their caloric intake,
Yeah.
and how much protein is, what percentage of protein makes up the daily calories or intake, I would always try and get the protein from natural sources through whole foods. So you would never see me prescribe an artificial protein shake to a client as a go-to primary source of protein. That would not happen. So if you're a Bioelevate client, that would not happen. But as a caveat to that, as an elite athlete with higher protein demands, where you've absolutely trashed your body in a training session and you need that immediate recovery, it's having that knowledge and intuition to go, right, I need a carb and a protein source right now to help me kickstart that recovery. Sometimes that looks like a banana as your carb source or some apricots with a high protein source like 2 boiled eggs. But if you're sat on poolside smashing down 2 eggs and a banana, is that optimal when you're going to go home and have your dinner? Probably not. However, there are better sources of kind of your protein powders. So you've got your kind of highly processed and kind of bulking agents, preservatives, highly kind of processed protein powders. And then you've got your companies or the little companies who are trying to spot the gap, as you said earlier.
Yeah.
So there's a brand that I use called Honest, Onyst, and they only have 6 ingredients. So for me, that speaks absolute volumes, that it's a protein powder that only has 6 ingredients, and they're high quality, organically derived ingredients that are good for your body. No additives, no preservatives, no bulking agents, none of this kind of chemical processed things that are going to inflame your body and make recovery harder.
Yeah.
So working in alignment with brands or powders or companies that resonate with your biology, yes, but obviously your beliefs.
Yeah.
That's where the magic is. So in answer to your question, first, food first approach always, but where we need to supplement, I'd always go for your brands. Read beyond the label, look what's actually in it. If it's got an ingredient where you can't even pronounce, probably ditch it. And little plug for Honest, because the guys there are amazing, and we're on the same trajectory and that same passion to help people.
I was just chuckling here because you said no, just read the label first, but the issue is it's so overcomplicated because of these specific scientific names or
it's the chemical derivatives,
right? It's the chemical derivatives, exactly. And they get confused and say, maybe I don't know what this language means, but I'm going to eat it anyway. Or maybe, as you said, okay, it has foreign language to you, just ditch it.
Probably don't eat it. And it's not just foods. It is not just foods. It's in our healthcare. It's in our our products, so like shampoo, conditioner, body wash, lotions. Oh, that is another topic for another day. Sun creams. With the warmer weather coming into the UK, look what is in your sun cream. And this is not just what we eat. And I always challenge my clients is they say, oh, is this any good? I'm like, would you eat it? I'm like, what? No, I wouldn't eat sun cream. So if you wouldn't eat it, why would you put it on your skin? Your skin being the biggest the biggest organ in the body, the most absorptive, whatever you put on, it'll get through. So if you're going to put on something that is synthetic, full of chemicals, but you wouldn't eat it, why put it on your skin? And it's that kind of that thought pattern that disrupts your habits and go, actually, I'm not going to put that on my skin because I wouldn't eat it. I'm going to find a healthier alternative. And that's the beauty of your health journey, because everyone starts their health journey at different points. Some people come to me quite optimized and they're like looking for that 1%. But some people come to me right at the start of their journey with no knowledge or understanding of any of this, and kind of walking them through this journey of, reading the labels on your shampoos or your tin of beans, looking at the preservatives or the hidden chemicals. And it's not about changing everything at once. It's about doing little sustainable changes, which over time create a significant impact. And that is like a PhD journey, and bringing it back in.
Exactly.
Little consistent habits, little consistent steps lead you to walking across that stage of graduation.
Yeah, and I think that's the beauty of it. And as we said, patient. Let's say sweet here, clear here. Patience is a virtue,
Yes,
not many people,
absolutely.
not many people are able, not say, people are able to build it, but it
Yeah,
seems they show laziness in building it. And this is happens with, as you said, with the skin and foods, and trying to track what we actually do, what we know about our bodies, right? And so I think having these components and collaborating with people, with coaches who are more specialized in these type of things, then it's a good way to meet your goals eventually. And as I said,
absolutely.
it takes time.
Yeah,
It actually takes time. You see
patience is a
these,
virtue.
yeah, exactly, and you see these like fucking social media. Have you seen these type of social media when they advertise loads and loads and loads of trend products?
Yeah,
What's your thoughts about that? And it gets people even more confused. And
yeah,
there's like this kind of things as well. Oh, I've reached this thing, and it's like this trend of the trust me, bro, all kind of shit, and then
yeah. It's
main
that gym bro,
coaching,
trust me, bro.
yeah, good
But that's your source.
one on one coaching after doing some pumping iron, after pumping some iron, and okay, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah,
What are
I
your thoughts
think,
about that?
yeah, that's again, that's another aspect of the training and the nutrition where, supplements of any form are very much a secondary kind of tier to
Yeah,
what should be laid those foundations, which is how well are we sleeping, how well are we eating, how well are we thinking.
yeah,
When those kind of pillars are good structural quality, that's when you identify some of the gaps. Um, and what you said, I think about 30 minutes ago, I don't know
yes,
if it was 30 minutes exactly, about the soil quality. So there's
yes,
something
the
called the
soil
nutrient
quality.
gap.
Yes.
So the vegetables that we are growing and harvesting today are not of the same quality and organic chemical makeup that they were, decades ago, because
Yeah.
the soil quality has changed, the demand has changed, our population requirement has changed,
Yeah.
and everything is more on demand here. And
Mm-hmm.
that puts a stress on the vegetables and on the soil that we are growing, harvesting, and consuming.
Yeah.
So there is something called the nutrient gap. So the nutrient in a carrot, for example, years and years and years ago, decades ago, would be a high nutritional value because it would
Mm-hmm.
have taken a longer time, non-GMO crop, and it would have taken a longer time to harvest and grow than what it is today. And that is, again, evolving, evolutionary with the demands of our society. So there is a small supplement gap. And your genetics, again, play an incredible role in this. For example, one of the genes that we test is the vitamin A gene,
Yeah.
and it's your ability to either convert beta carotene or retinol, and it's able to kind of how well are you able to convert beta carotene to retinol?
Mm-hmm.
But beta carotene is that color compound in like broccoli and carrots. The retinol is the performed version that you get from your animals, your animal sources. So if someone cannot convert beta carotene to retinol, then the vegetables that they eat, they're not going to be able, they'll overwhelm the system. So that's when having a performed retinol supplement or animal sourced intervention first would be better for that client. So your
Yeah.
genetics influences your supplement demand or requirement after you've looked at your food first approach. And I think with that goes with any supplements. And I think there is a time and a place for your kind of hormone therapies. If someone is like clinically presenting with a deficiency, a deficit, a disease that requires that stability, absolutely. But I think for your, as you quoted, your trust me, bro, gym sources who are just looking to be big from an potentially an egotistical point of view or to maximize human performance or maximize
Yeah.
human potential. Again, a curious mind. I want to see as big and as powerful as I can be to just test the limits. I would always err on the side of caution
Yeah.
with anything like that, and I'd rather support natural athletes than enhanced. And as an athlete myself, I would never ever dream of going down the enhanced route.
No.
Even with like the peptides like BCP157, the ones that promote tissue healing and the regenerative, the good, the positive peptides, I wouldn't entertain it because in my sport that's banned and that is seen as an unfair advantage. Therefore, you control your controllables. look at your blueprint, the nutrition, the sleep, the movement, the input to our minds, control that before kind of looking externally. So control your internal environment before looking external.
Yeah. Have you, because you said you were an elite athlete. What
Yeah.
type of sport did you practice, or you
I'm
still
a competitive
practicing?
swimmer.
Okay.
Competitive swimmer. So I've competed for Wales as a junior for about 7 or 8 years, and I'm still competing now.
Are you preparing yourself for the Olympics?
Probably not. That's a bit that's kind of your misconception.
Ah,
As an
okay.
athlete,
Apologies.
like the only goal is the Olympics. But I think it's like only the top 1% or maybe even less of that of someone's sport will actually ever get to the Olympics. It's a very small, finite, elite margin of people who will get there. But you know, there are other kind of competitions.
Yeah.
So like the Commonwealth Games, a lot of my teammates are going out to up to Glasgow, sorry, next month or this month.
The Commonwealth.
The Commonwealth Games, yeah.
Okay.
So there's Commonwealth, there's Europeans, there's Worlds, there's British competitions here. But also that's the beauty of sport is that it can take you all over the world. And you know, the swimming is the same. It is just a pool in another country. And your ability to get on the block and perform because you're passionate about it, that doesn't change.
Yeah.
So I think Olympics is probably not on my card, but being the best athlete I can be in whatever kind of domain that takes me, it absolutely is.
Nah, but that's the beauty of it, as you said. It's sports is not just the Olympics. That's what we see on TV. There's also
Yeah, exactly.
the European Championships, the regional championships, world championships, all sorts of sports. We gotta start low.
Exactly.
We gotta start somewhere, low somewhere,
Yeah,
and then just get into that.
exactly.
And I do, because you're a competitive swimmer. Have you watched the enhanced games?
Yes, yeah, I
So
did.
what are your thoughts
There's
upon it?
there's a lot of kind of stigma attached to it. And one of my good friends, Alex, based in Loughborough University, Dr. Alex, he's currently doing research on kind of that social stigma around it and, you know, did it change pre and post enhanced games? So again, shout out to Alex. He's doing a great job up there.
I want to have his contact. I want to
Yeah,
invite him
yeah, yeah, I'll
to
get
the
you on.
show.
Absolutely.
That would be
Absolutely.
nice. I'd love to
Because he
know.
loves the
I'd
chat.
love to know. I'd love to know. Because sorry to interrupt, Katie. Because
No.
I saw this video. It's a very critical video. It's on a YouTube channel called Moon, and he was
Okay.
talking about enhanced games. This was the most clownish event ever made, and it was a sort of advertising enhanced drugs.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, I think my personal opinion and professional opinion, they are the same because I'm authentic to myself and I'm true to myself. And when you look at the enhanced games, you know, your performance enhancing drugs, steroids, TRT,
yeah,
stuff like that, it's it's the game of 1%, but an even further perspective and even further angle. And on one hand, as like a scientist, again, you are curious as a being to see that how much can I push my body using the science, using the technology that is, you know, available to us today. How far can I actually push my body? But as a sports person, that does not align with me because I'd rather see how much I can push my body within a clean, like a clean sport environment. So that means like none of those performance enhancing drugs, no steroids, nothing like that. So you've got kind of the interest in human performance or the enhanced human performance, and then you've got the what is true to our sport. I know there are a lot of different sports. I know swimming is one of them. I think we had like the weightlifting,
yeah,
the running,
yeah.
and actually, yeah, it's
I think they were doing is just deadlift. It wasn't
yes,
It wasn't powerlifting. It was just. I think it's just swimming was one of them.
yeah, swimming was one of them.
Deadlifting,
Yeah,
and then the 100-meter run, and I think there was another ones too, but I don't remember. So
yeah, and I think the philosophy for me is always like protecting clean sport.
yeah,
Sleep, nutrition, training, recovery, stress management. There is enough in those pillars to influence a great performance without kind of adding on the, you know, the performance enhancing side of things, which are illegal in today's sport. I think it is about protecting that because you've got to look at the benefits and the costs because biology is one of those trade-offs. And all of these athletes who've gone down the enhanced games, you don't know the impact that those drugs will have on your system long term.
Yeah.
So it's like you are allowing your body to become a test subject.
Mm-hmm.
And I think more than that, in elite sport, it's about fairness. And sport only has that true integrity and true meaning if athletes come under the same rules, compete under the same rules.
Mm.
And if they are prohibited in a sport, I think those rules should be respected. But I also know that the enhanced games are operating on their own rules. And they are kind of distinct. They're in a distinctive pool. They'll not be allowed to compete back in day-to-day competitions now. So I think that there's so many angles and opinions and views that need to be considered. So I don't have a final answer for what do I think of
Yeah.
it. Because I think a lot about it, but I haven't got a conclusive answer yet. Because also there's people behind those athletes, behind those performances, and for example, Ben Proud, one of our British swimmers, he was hoping to break the 50 freestyle world record to win that £1 million. And that would be far more than he ever generated as one of our most successful British athletes for decades, for years. So that that pull, I think Cody Miller, one of the breaststrokers from America, he won 2 events, so he made £500,000 or $500,000. So that is kind of life-changing money that he never earned, being one of the top athletes in his field. So when there's a kind of financial pull to support their family, to support their, their generational wealth, to support, how they exist and function in today's society, from just being good at their sport, there is a pull. And I understand that pull.
Yeah.
But I don't think that is enough for me to warrant what happens on a biological level, the fairness, the equality in sport, how sport is viewed from the outside, and also the narrative of the company who's running it, like Enhanced Games. Because beforehand, I didn't really get the vibe that you'd be able to buy the supplements that they were on. But afterwards, it was a big marketing push, being like, you can recover like us, take this. And he was like, whoa, like different agenda, almost a hidden agenda, But I'm gonna pause there. I'll put you in touch with Alex from Loughborough Uni. I think he's a doctoral professor at Loughborough Uni, incredible, and is currently doing research on this.
Okay.
So again, Alex, you got a little shout out from me. We do a lot of competing, masters competing together in swimming, and he loves this sort of stuff. So I'm going to pause there.
Yes.
I've got unconclusive answers. I'm going to pause, and I'll hopefully get Alex on so you can continue this with him.
No, definitely. I would get Alex on the show,
Yeah.
and they will be really interesting to know about how this enhanced drugs really work in the elite competitive world. And
Absolutely.
I would love
It's not
to
my
know more.
area. It's not
Yeah.
my area.
No, it's really cool though to know about this and know about how, again, as we throughout the talk, how we know our bodies and how can we progress without harming ourselves. I think that's the beauty
Absolutely.
of it. Collaboration is essential, having the mindset is essential, and patience becomes a virtue.
Absolutely. Bringing it right back.
Yeah, bring up. It's a loop, and it's becoming a loop, I guess.
For sure. For sure.
So, and another things I'd like to ask as well, because you've been featured in BBC Radio Wales. I saw it on a story on Instagram. How was it? I tried to look for it, and I wasn't able to find it. But how was the experience for?
I can drop you the link later. I think it's on BBC Sounds for I think a month, so there's still time. But so I think it was last week or the week before.
Yeah.
One of the researchers at BBC Wales contacted me, asking to basically come on air and discuss my opinions, or my expertise on longevity in the workplace.
Yeah.
And there's a study that has just been announced that movement in kind of a corporate work setting improves longevity and reduces disease risk. Because if you think like if we're sat down in an office or a desk for 9 to 5 and we don't really take an active lunch, so we don't step away from our desk and that sort of thing, we're kind of stuck in this little seated position like a shrimp, and our kind of posture goes and our hip flexors tighten up, and structurally that's not great. From a postural perspective, that's not great. So the study, I can drop the link for your the bit on your podcast, I can drop it there. Researchers showed that kind of those active movement, I think they call them movement bites.
Okay.
Something like that. Literally get up and walk for like I think 5 or 10 minutes or maybe even exercise bites. So he's either getting up and walk for about 10 minutes, 15 minutes every couple of hours is good for your longevity, good for your health, and reduces the risk of disease later down the line.
Yeah.
So again, I won't go too much in on that study. I'll drop you the link.
Sure.
But my time on BBC Radio Wales was incredible. It lasted about 3 minutes,
Oh,
and
okay.
I had my 3 minutes of fame, as they say. And again, that was another acting as Dr. Katie Rees. So it was an opportunity to talk about my passions, talk about Bioelevate, and ultimately raise an awareness of the risk of sitting at your desk or
Yeah.
desk rotting, as they say. And, you know, can we get a walking pad? So I'm actually sat down for this podcast, but normally I would be on my walking pad. So under this, I've got a yoga ball, and beneath it, I've got my walking pad and a standing desk. So when I'm working, I'm very rarely sat down still. I'm very much walking because I actually find it wires my brain. It gets my brain going as well.
Okay.
So I've got a walking pad, I've got a standing desk, so I sit and stand. I don't have a desk chair. I've got a yoga ball.
Okay.
Again, they are little kind of tips and tricks to help support your biology and your being.
Oh.
And that's what we talked about very, very briefly on BBC Radio Wales. And it was amazing. It was an honor to be
Wow.
asked.
I'll maybe buy a yoga ball and then start to sit down because this chair I'm sitting on right now is needs to be retired.
Yeah. So it's one of these, you know?
Oh yes, I know the
We
the
love
ball.
it.
I love it. It works a lot
There's-
with the flexibility of the back. I used to do when I was a kid, like
Absolutely.
doing like the stretches and
Yeah,
laterals.
absolutely.
That's a
And
good
when you're
one.
working, you're kind of just on the ball, just bouncing
Yeah.
about, and it is
Okay.
fantastic because you're working with your natural lumbar curvature. And
Sure.
you know, if you're sat like this, you'll feel it instantly, and the ball kind of helps correct it. Something that was advised by a chiropractic friend of mine. So it's brilliant.
All right. I'll have a look.
Yeah,
I'll have a
recommend,
look.
highly recommend.
I'll have a look then. I want to buy a ball now.
Yeah, brilliant. If that's the one thing you take away, Lewis, let's go.
No. I'll definitely buy. I actually again, I love exercising. It's just
Yeah,
thanks to props to my family though. So
absolutely.
that's the thing. And another thing as well that I noticed that you had your first corporate workshop about your company, and it was 48 hours after you defended your thesis. And
Yeah, it was.
how was it? How were those 48 hours? You had to split the joy of after like what 2+ hours of the Viva, and then
Yeah.
presenting your Bioelevate afterwards. How was
Yeah, it was quite a blur, to be honest. Like looking back now, the whole kind of whirlwind from the Wednesday to the Friday was a blur, but it was incredible. So my Viva was on a Wednesday, and then on Friday morning I was back in Cardiff in their like professional gears, my first outing as Dr. Katie Rees. Speaking to a team of dental practitioners about health and longevity in the workplace, how to tailor their nutrition,
Yeah.
how to kind of coordinate their work diaries, which would align best with their kind of peaks and troughs of energy in the day. And actually speaking to the management of like changing up their work diary so that the harder or more thought-provoking work comes in the morning, and then the less thought-demanding work comes in the afternoon or evening.
Yeah.
That's to suit their energy. So we did like a whole host on like nutrition, sleep, lifestyle, the importance of it, actionable tips and insights. Again, so yeah, that was on the Friday, I think Friday morning, to be honest, off the back of my afternoon Viva
Yeah.
on the Wednesday. And yeah, as you said, it was an absolute blur. It was a blur. But yeah, I loved it. I loved it.
So now as Dr. Katie Rees
Yes.
and passing the Viva with a successful rate and then
Yeah.
presenting your Bioelevate business, I mean, it's just the cream of the crop.
Yeah,
essentially.
yeah,
So-
absolutely. And it's,
and
I think the Viva itself was like a huge moment. 'Cause the PhD is not just like the 3 or 4 years. It's like it's the culmination of everything that led you there. It's like the studying, the sacrifices,
Yeah.
the thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of hours in the labs. Weekends writing, rewriting, deleting
Yes.
chapters.
I know.
Like you know the score. So I think I absolutely loved my Viva. It's quite a controversial opinion. I loved it. And if I could do that again, I absolutely would.
Yeah.
Um, credit to my external and internal examiners, Rachel Evans, or Professor Rachel Evans and Claire Kelly.
Hmm.
So I literally just dropped them. So Dr. Claire, Dr. Rachel Evans, they are incredible.
Uh-huh.
And they actually fostered such a nurturing and supportive environment that allowed me to flourish.
Yeah.
And that's where, when you kind of on your PhD journey, when you're looking at experts or expert minds in those fields, like
Mm.
who do you want on your exam board? Start thinking of it early, because actually they say never to meet your idols,
Mm.
but Prof. Rachel Evans is absolutely incredible
Mm.
and is a leader in our field of long COVID and long COVID research. And it was incredible to be sat the other side of a table, picking
Yeah.
her brains about where her research is going. And I loved it. I
Yeah.
absolutely loved it. And I rehearsed beforehand. I did practice questions and answers, but I was very much
Mm.
geared up, ready to go in because I knew my stuff. Ultimately,
Yeah.
we know our research better than anyone else.
Yeah.
But when I was in there, I absolutely loved it. I absolutely loved it. And afterwards, I think myself and my family, we went for like a celebratory meal
Uh-huh.
that evening. So I saw my partner, I saw my parents and my gran, and it was just incredible.
Mm.
And then literally reset on the Thursday, go back to training, be all normal. And then Friday morning, first acting as Dr. Rees. So it felt actually very symbolic. It
Uh-huh.
felt like, leaving academia and entering the real world,
Yeah.
sharing that knowledge and passion, which is exactly what I had hoped. So I think it was very symbolic and it's very true to who I am. I'm very much a 100-mile-an-hour girl over and over again.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was brilliant and I loved it and I would do it all over again
Yeah. I think it is once in a lifetime, and
for sure.
unless you want to do a second PhD, of course.
Maybe I wouldn't rule it out.
I wouldn't rule it out too, and I think these are the tiniest. Many people think these are the tiniest moments. They're actually big, and
Yeah,
as you said, would probably do the PhD Viva again because I had so much fun as well
yeah,
in treating an academic debate as if I was having a coffee chat with someone and having a conversation, talking about the research, talking about the tiniest things that you might not even imagining the
yeah,
examiner would ask you, but at the same time you have to coming up with something. I know this, but it's so difficult to delve into it that it required more than 3 hours to explain this.
yeah,
And I
absolutely.
think
And
and
I
I
think,
think and I think the examiners expect us to know a lot of our research, which is a fair option
yeah,
because we know that we know it a lot back and forth, and they also want to see us thrive, I'd say.
yeah, absolutely. And I think one of the myths to debunk is that your
Yeah.
vira is there to catch you out. It's
Yeah.
not. It's
No.
to allow you to flourish and ask you the right questions to engage that passion, that purpose, that curiosity to, bring the best out in you.
Yeah.
And you should enjoy the Viva. So I know a lot of people didn't and they
Yeah.
hated it and they
Yeah.
were very much anxious and nervous beforehand and hated it.
Yeah.
But I can only speak from personal experience and I
Yeah.
loved it.
It's a different personal experience. I really enjoyed it. As I said, I was a bit nervous, but at the same time, just kept calm.
Yeah.
I even had a chat with the chair and the internal examiner, and they are the
Yeah.
nicest persons ever. And then okay, now I'm more
Yeah.
relaxed, and it's just going to have. They asked me as well, "Are you nervous?" No, I feel excited. A bit
Yeah.
nervous, yes, but just
Yeah. And I think nerves are great.
yeah.
Coming from that athlete background,
Uh
I
huh.
know if I'm not nervous before a race, I have to
Yeah.
question, do I care enough about the outcome? So I
Yeah.
think before my Viva, I was nervous. And but again, that nerves or excitement, the excitement outweighed the anxiety.
Yeah.
And you're able to kind of channel that nerves into a kind of a positive influence and that positive purpose.
Yeah.
And yeah, your nerves, they show that you care about it. Because if you didn't,
Yeah.
there'd be no point in
Yeah.
doing it.
You didn't even know point. You like the same thing when going to a swimming competition. Also,
Yeah.
when I was a kid, I used to go to my karate competitions. I was nervous
Yeah.
as well. Lose or win, I mean, it was just part of the experience. And
Absolutely.
right, So it's just not treating the Viva as a competition, but also as a way of showcasing your research and experience the moment that you will have, which will be,
Yeah.
again, once in a lifetime, unless you want to do a second PhD. But
Yeah, I wouldn't write it off. I don't
yeah,
know if a second PhD to Rees will be on the cards,
so you
but
like be
certainly,
two-time doctors,
yeah,
two-time doctor, right?
certainly a postdoc. I
Yeah,
love research, and I think that curious mind of mine would, is best placed in
uh,
research and making a difference
yeah.
in people's day-to-day health.
I'm
So
curious as well. I'm not discarding a postdoc, but I think for me, I said to my teachers, I don't want to do it now.
yes,
I want to rest. I want to look out for job, getting a professional experience, build up my own business, and doing this podcast, see how it goes.
yeah, absolutely. And everyone has a different path. I think that's the beauty with a PhD. Like some people come out of their PhD and go straight into an academic post, a
Yeah,
lecturing post. Some people go into research, especially
yeah,
in science. You kind of go into
yes,
private, public sector research. And then you get another cohort that go into the entrepreneurial side of things,
yeah,
build their
yeah,
business, build their craft. And yeah, that's the beauty of it, that no two paths are the same.
yeah.
And
And
yeah, it's beautiful.
it is beautiful indeed, because the PhD takes you to many avenues that you don't even imagine. It's just not just
Exactly.
one specific. I mean, okay, you've researched that specific and you want to expand it afterwards, but then it can take you to other avenues. It led you to Bioelevate. For me, in that
Absolutely.
case, it led me to PhD Lounge, which I keep keep doing it since the beginning of my PhD back in 2021. So, and it is how it is now as it stands.
Exactly. Amazing.
So I think it's a great way to wrap it up. And I'd just like to ask you, Katie, any advice to those who are studying for a PhD or want to do a PhD, as well as establishing a business when studying or maybe afterwards?
Yeah. So I think hopefully there'll be a lot of people listening who are either considering a PhD or doing one.
Mm-hmm.
And the first bit of advice I would say is make sure that you are fascinated by the question, not by the title
Yeah.
or the becoming a doctor, because those are part of the journey. But you have to be fascinated with that question first, because the title will last one day.
Mm-hmm.
And you have very much a working title throughout the duration, and it'll change so many times, but the research will last for years. And, when there'll be mornings that your experiments fail, weeks where absolutely nothing works, where progress feels invisible and you go back to square one, be 2 months down the line. So I think if the motivation is just becoming a doctor, it's probably not enough to sustain you, but curiosity is. And curiosity keeps asking one more question. So I
Mm-hmm.
think when you're fascinated with a question, that's when a PhD might be the right track for you.
Yeah.
And I think secondly, importantly, it's don't compare your PhD journey to someone else's, because comparison very much exists in research, just like everywhere else.
Yeah.
Someone publishes a paper before you. If you started together, someone wins funding, someone gets another paper accepted, someone finishes 3 years on the dot, whereas someone else took 9 years. So I think, again, this is my athlete kind of persona and perspective coming through, but if you're constantly looking sideways and focusing on what other people are doing, you never really appreciate how far you've come in your journey.
Yes.
And I think research, especially a PhD, it's not a race. It's not about just getting it done and getting out the other side. It's a contribution to your research area, a very valuable contribution, and you shouldn't rush it. And don't compare, because my favorite quote is like, comparison is the thief of joy. If you're looking sideways, you never appreciate how far you've come. So that would be my advice. Focus on yourself and your journey and be fascinated with the question and what you can contribute to your field.
Yeah. And I think that's a powerful message to deliver to those who are doing it and are a bit lost in their research, whether it's
Yeah,
humanities or STEM.
absolutely.
Each one is different, and
I
each
forgot.
one. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, you asked about running a business at the same time.
Yes.
That
Yeah,
was
yeah. Go
the,
on.
the
Go on.
second answer, the second bit of the question. Forgot, nearly.
It's okay. No worries.
So running a business at the same time, I would say don't wait until you feel ready. That would be like my one big bit of advice. Don't wait until you feel ready, because it's likely that you'll never feel ready. And if I'd waited to feel completely prepared and ready to start Bioelevate, I'd probably still be waiting, to be honest. Because confidence and having that confidence to start doesn't usually arrive before action. So confidence follows action. And every consultation made me better. Every presentation improved my communication. Every client taught me something new. So you don't kind of just become confident overnight. You begin the journey, and then your confidence builds up and you become confident. So I think don't wait until you feel ready to start. Start anyway.
Yeah. I think, as I was saying, that everyone has its high and lows during their PhD. And
Absolutely.
as you said, start. Just get ready. Just you feel you're ready, then you start. Just don't wait tomorrow, and just start. Do you have any upcoming projects?
Upcoming projects, I think building Bioelevate and keeping authentic, keep showing up. I think that's the main focus in like the academia or the business side of things. I've obviously got graduation next week, so that'll be incredible. So a little bit of celebration there. But yeah, in terms of business, keep building the brand, keep helping my clients. Because first and foremost, that's why I'm doing it. Pipeline stuff, a lot of exciting kind of collaborative opportunities. You'll have to stay tuned, Lewis. And in terms of swimming, I'm actually heading out to. So I've got the Welsh Championships later this month, so end of the month, beginning of August. And then I fly out to, I want to get this right. It's either Slovakia or Slovenia.
Okay.
And I want to get this right. It is...
the capital, which one of the capital?
I can't remember which one it is.
So if it is Slovenia, it's Ljubljana.
The other one.
The other one. Okay, so I can't remember.
It's Slovakia.
Slovakia. Okay.
Yeah. So you can just edit that part out.
Ljubljana is the capital of Slovenia. The other part of Slovakia, Slovakia's capital, I can't remember.
Yeah. So it's Slovakia for sure. So you can crop that out where I can remember. I'll restart this segment.
I think it was Bratislava. Bratislava.
Yes,
I think.
Yeah, Bratislava.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, that's the one. Okay, and just came out.
Absolutely. So, start of the month in the Welsh, and then later on in August, I'm heading out to the European Masters Championships in Slovakia. So that'll be the first time kind of representing Great British Masters.
Yeah.
So you'll have like the GB kit, the GB hat, and just being with an incredible group of people of all ages, trying to be the best athletes that we can be. And then fresh new season starts in September.
Yeah.
And we go again. Cyclical nature. We love we love habits as human beings, and we keep going.
And keep going. And I wish all the best for the championships, and all the best as well to keep grinding on Bioelevate.
Absolutely.
And so that's the best of it. I just wish all the best and
Thank you very
success
much.
for the rest of for the endeavors that are coming ahead, and where they can follow you on social media.
Social media,
including Bioelevate.
Yeah, include Bioelevate. So Instagram is bio_elevate. And on LinkedIn, you can connect with me there. That is, just my name, Dr. Katie Rees. And my website. So my website has all of my information that you could possibly need if you're interested in my philosophy or becoming a client. Everything is on there. And if this did kind of spark something or a message in you, reach out. So I'd love to chat.
I think many listeners who are tuning into this session probably will reach out to you. And in now this day and age of gym goers, confusing trends, they need someone to guide and find their milestone. I think they will resonate.
Cut through the noise and get clarity, and that's what I pride myself on.
Yeah.
So to anyone listening, please connect, reach out. Website, Instagram, LinkedIn. I'm here.
Yeah.
And Lewis, thank you so much for having me on.
No,
it's an honor. I love your work.
Thank you.
And you've kind of established this great platform where you have people like me passionate about their stories and their kind of niche or expertise, and you've given us an incredible platform to share our voice, and that's so powerful. So thank you to you.
No, thank you for the kind words, and also thank you for sharing your passion. It's something that I also like. The working out, learning about the body, learning about any different exercises, reinventing, and how can we take care of ourselves. So that's
Absolutely.
a big thing. So, Katie, thank you so much. And
Brilliant.
for the students and graduates hearing this late night talk, thank you all for tuning in, and it's been a pleasure.